Hey, what's up YouTube? It's been a long time since I did an update video on my channel. I just finally got a sound system installed on my 2020 Tacoma, and I wanted to do an update video. I looked forever at options, plug and play options. I talked to a bunch of different audio shops, got all sorts of crazy bids and offers, and it all seemed way too complicated, and nobody seemed really to know what to do with this truck. So I did a lot of research on my own, and this is what I ended up with. So I bought all these components myself, and then I got them installed because it was way too complicated trying to keep the head unit, and sorry about the wind. So if you recall, there's another video on my channel where I talk about I do the install on these door speakers. So I did the install myself on the door speakers. That was easy. That was no problem. But what I ended up with as far as an amp and a processor. So this is a Kicker CX series. So it's very middle of the road, but it gets the job done. It's a simple amp. It has a ton of adjustments on the side. See if I can get you down there close. All these different adjustments on the side. And then my crossover or my processor, which it's not really a full-blown processor, but this is the LC7i, and this is a very popular processor. So there's one, this is $200. There's another one that's like $800. Like the DMX or something, and it supposedly does a lot more than this, but this has done awesome. So you can see the setup here, very clean. They didn't have to tear anything up. I took this back panel off. I could cut up the back panel, you know, and customize it and put it back on, which I might, but that's going to take some doing. It'll be a little bit tricky to get it back on there. So that's the amp. It's a 5-channel, so it is pushing, so you've got 660 watts. It really ends up with about 750 watts available. That's way more amperage than you're going to get with the plug and play system. So this is pushing up to 300 amps to my sub. I think with those plug and play, you're getting like 100 or 150 max. And then it's pushing about 90 watts to my door speakers, and I've got the gains all turned down. A quick note, I've heard people say, oh, with a 2020 you can't install a sound system, or you can't use the LC7i because you're going to get like that static sound. That is all just the gains being turned up too high. So I've got the gains turned down to my door speakers to where you can barely hear like that hiss or that static, and they still sound fantastic. I've got plenty of sound. You can turn that up if you want. It's really easy. You can do the gains here, or you can do them here, or you can do a combination to get it the way you want, but there's so much adjustment to be made. When I got this back from the shop, they had the gains turned way up. It was way louder than I needed it. So I turned the gains to the doors down, and I left the gains up to my sub. Okay, so the sub is the JL Audio micro sub, and this is the 8-inch. So a couple notes about this. It is a true sub. It's not a shallow sub, and so the sound you get is just unbelievable out of this 8-inch for an 8-inch sub. Of course, it's not going to compare with two deep 12-inch subs or something, but I'm also not out trying to blow teenagers off the road. It has more bass than I would ever use or need or want. And some notes about the sub. If there's a couple of adjustments over here, really just a couple of buttons. Let's see if I can show you. So if this button, I can't really show you that top. If that top button right there is, let me see if I can get this to focus. You can see there's two buttons that can be clicked. If that top button is clicked down, let me click it and show you. So now it's clicked down. That is going to let me use the remote, the sub remote. If I click it back up, it's just going to go to all the default settings that I have set on the amp and the LC7i. And I think it sounds better with the presets rather than the sub control, but it's that easy to switch it over to the sub remote. And I didn't have to do anything to get that sub in there other than I think there's a little lip underneath the sub that I just cut with a razor blade and bent it back and forth and popped it out of there, like a little kind of divider that was like an inch high. So that sub just fits right into your Tacoma, no problem. Boom, it just goes, and then these. So you do sacrifice you're gonna sacrifice some space no matter what, but there's nothing under the seats. This is it, this is everything. And then the seats, just like no modifications needed. And this back panel just pops right out. You take a few screws out and you take it out, and that's that. And then they had to build these boards to put this stuff on, but that's pretty standard. There's no other visible cords anywhere in the truck. Another note, I never knew this, but Bluetoothing to your head unit is going to get you decent sound quality, but basically pure crap compared to a good aux cord. So there's some confusion. This aux cord only goes to the USB, and it will charge your phone, but it plugs in and your Android Audio will work and your Apple Play will work. I've seen a lot of debate about this online, but you plug it in and it works. So this is an HDMI, and a lot of people said, oh no, it will only do this or that. It works just fine, exactly like an aux cord. I mean, it is an aux cord, even though when you buy this, it's not going to say aux cord, it's going to say charging cord. So I got like a nice heavy duty one. So the sound quality is at least double when you hardwire it in versus Bluetooth. So remember that. And again, I have another video about the install on my door speakers. That was really easy. I did that myself. I took this in. So I bought all these components myself. The speaker is about the amp. That amp is going to be 360. The LC7i is 200. And the sub behind this, you're looking at probably 250 to 300 on that. And then I paid about 400 for the install. So if I've got my math right, I think the entire thing is about $1,700. So that is not cheap, but you end up with, I mean, a very, very high quality sound system. Again, about like this, the hiss and the gain issues, you see where they've got this grounded. I've heard that you can get rid of more of the hissing sound by grounding it at the head unit as well. I don't know about that. But I got rid of all the hissing, all the static sound by just turning down the gains at the amp. And I've got them down to about 1/4 power, but it's not just exactly 1/4 power. That's just, I've got the knob down to about 1/4, and again, it's pushing plenty of power to all my door speakers, no problems. Again, sorry about the noise. So there you go. I hope that's helpful to some of you out there. Like I said, I looked forever for different options. This is what I ended up with, and I love it. It sounds really, really good. So see you later.